Hey guys, Robbie here from CrossFit South Mountain with another Wellness Wednesday, another holiday edition. We got the dogs here eagerly awaiting a potential treat for putting on their holiday attire. So obviously during the holiday season, a lot of you guys are going to be doing some traveling, and it's really, really hard when you're traveling to eat right. So today we're going to talk about some options that you can have while on the road that will make it easier to eat healthy, even while you're traveling. Even if you're not going to be traveling, the options that I'm going to talk about today are really good for snacking. They're really good when you don't have time to cook, and we're going to talk about all the different things that you can kind of bring along with you when you just don't have time to have a homemade meal. All right, guys, good. So first, let's start off with the protein part of your meal. So, protein is one of the harder aspects to get if you can't cook it at home, especially quality protein. Epic Bar is one of my personal favorites. This is the beef apple bacon variety. If you look on the back here, we got grass-fed beef, uncured bacon, organic apples, lactic acid, and celery powder. Pretty much all the ingredients on the back of these Epic Bars are immaculate, especially when you compare them to lots of other bars out there that are just carbohydrate and sugar laden and have a lot of preservatives and just really aren't that great for you. So Epic Bar is one of my favorites. They've got different flavors that you can try. They've got different bites that you can try as well. But that's not the only one out there. There's a company online called Primal Packs. They make some jerky with some nuts and some dried pineapple, I believe it is. Those are really great too. Steve's Paleo Goods makes a lot of these great on-the-go snacks as well. So it's not just Epic Bar. These are all different options that you can go for, especially when you compare it to kind of standard jerkies and standard pork rinds that you can buy. These are going to be much, much, much better options for you health-wise. One thing I should say before I go on, I don't get paid any money from any of these companies. I don't get any free stuff. If any company wants to send me some free stuff, call me. But currently I don't get any free stuff or any endorsements from these companies, so I'm just recommending what I typically use. There's no sort of endorsement going on. So proteins, that's that. Let's talk about starchy carbohydrates. So starchy carbohydrates, some things that you can have. Obviously you've got your non-starchy vegetables, which we'll talk about in a second, but starchy carbohydrates, just to get some fuel in you, especially if you're doing a workout or something like that, is going to be things like sweet potatoes or plantains or white potatoes. One brand that I really like, they started selling them at Whole Foods, Jackson's Honest Chips. You can get these online, you can get them on Amazon. The ingredient list on the back of this: sweet potatoes, organic coconut oil, sea salt. Really good ingredient list. They have white potato varieties too that are made with organic white potatoes, which with white potatoes is especially important for them to be organic. They sell a purple potato variety as well, which is delicious. So that's a really good, easy thing to bring with you. With all these starchy carbohydrate options, always be careful that you don't eat the entire thing, right? It can be healthy for you, assuming that you're having the appropriate portion, but if you have the whole bag, it kind of misses the point. So as long as you can kind of have an appropriate portion, you're good to go. These are also one of my favorites. These are plantain chips. You can buy these at Whole Foods. There's a company called Artisan Tropic that sells plantain chips as well. If you look on the back of these are plantains, palm oil, and sea salt, which is a fantastic ingredient list. That's another really, really great and delicious option that's just really easy to bring along with you. So far we got our proteins, we got our starchy carbohydrates. This would be really good fuel, in particular after a workout if you don't have time to cook. So what about your vegetables? A lot of vegetables need to be cooked to be something that ends up tasting good where you actually want to eat it. What are some on-the-go vegetables that you can have? So baby carrots. Baby carrots, one of my personal favorite. Really easy to carry around, really easy to just kind of munch on, and something that you can just put in a bag or put in a container and just take with you. Celery sticks, these by themselves, they're okay. But if you put some sea salt on them and you grab some guacamole or something like that, pretty good. So these are some good options that you just can kind of take on the go and make it so you don't have to cook. What else could you have if you didn't have these for vegetables? You could buy a clamshell of baby spinach or a clamshell of spring mix. Those plastic kind of clamshells you can see in the grocery store. just take some olive oil or some vinegar, toss it on there, and that's another really good no-cook vegetable option. So if you don't like baby carrots or celery, or if those are too hard to carry, that's another option. So we've got our proteins, starchy carbohydrates, non-starchy carbohydrates, the vegetables. Now let's talk about some healthy fat options. So in terms of healthy fats, there's a bunch of different things you can have. Two of my personal favorites, one that's just ridiculously easy, is an avocado. All sorts of different ways you can do this. You can grab some guacamole from your local store. The way I like to do it is just literally cut it open and take the center out and then sprinkle some sea salt on and then just spoon it out and eat it. So that's a really, really great healthy fat option. You can dice it up, like I said, you could, put it on top of something else, but this is just super easy to carry, super easy to slice up, super easy to eat. Another really excellent option is gonna be something like macadamia nuts or hazelnuts. These, as most of you are aware, macadamia nuts cost more than gold. I've seen them at places for like $30 a pound, which is insane. If you're a Costco member, you can get this. I think this is like $15 for a pound and a half. So that's not too bad at all. Other nuts and seeds like hazelnuts or almonds or walnuts are really good options as well. And also other healthy fats that you could have, just like we were talking about with the spring mix and the spinach, you could have some olive oil or some avocado oil on top of your salad or greens or something like that, and that's going to be a really great healthy fat option. Another thing you can have that also is going to fall in kind of the healthy fat category, but also a little bit more the treat side of things, is going to be your dark chocolate. So this just happens to be a brand that I like. There are lots of different brands out there, Alter Eco and whatnot, that have really excellent ingredients. I'll do a whole video on chocolate later and kind of explain things a little bit more in detail, but here's a headline for you on chocolate. If it's less than 70% cacao, it's a candy bar. So, just be aware of that. You want to try to go for 70% cacao or higher. That percent cacao content is going to tell you basically how much sugar is in the chocolate bar. So something like this, the entire bar has about 12 grams of sugar, which isn't great, but it's not too bad either. Like if you look at most chocolate bars, it's going to have like 20 grams of sugar or so. So this is going to be a decent option. Just have a couple squares or two, something to bring with you. Just kind of have a little bit of a treat here and there. And then also kind of on the dessert side of things, obviously fruit. So fruit has to be one of the best and most portable ways to kind of eat stuff on the road. Apples are fantastic, just kind of quick and easy to go. You can get some tangerines, some clementines, oranges, bananas. Fruits are going to be really, really easy options to take on the go. And I think most of you guys are going to be aware of these, but with some of these other things, maybe not as aware of these different options like the proteins and the non-starchy veggies and what have you. All right, guys, so hopefully now you've got a bit of a sense of different options that you can take with you while you're traveling during the holiday season. Like I said, even if you're not traveling, these are really good no-cook meal options and snacks that if you just don't have time to cook, or if it's been one of those days and you're like, man, if I have to cook something, I'm just gonna go insane, you can grab these, eat, be happy, and not have to worry about going out for fast food.